Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New Beyond. I'm your host, Judith Rich, and I'm really excited to introduce you to my guest today. My guest is a colleague of mine, a friend, and someone I am coming to know in a whole new way. I met you as Vince, but you are known in the natural physique pro world as Vinny. Yes, Vinny.
Correct.
So let me tell you about my guest, Vinny Shirey. He is a transformation coach, a dad, a natural physique pro, which is kind of another term for pro bodybuilder, pro being the operative word here, and the founder of Skinny with Vinny, a no BS fitness coaching brand helping busy men and women, especially parents, ditch the excuses, drop the weight, and finally feel confident in their own skin. Listeners, can any of you relate? Does anybody's name feel like you're being called? Raise your hands. I certainly am. After losing over 50 pounds himself and earning not one, not two, but three natural physique pro cards, we're going to find out what all that entails. Vinny made it his mission to teach others how to build a sustainable, operative word, repeatable fat loss style rooted in real life discipline, mindset, and habits, not quick fixes. Vinny is known for his authentic motivational content and systems based approach. Walking, weight training, carb cycling, and mindset work, all grounded in daily discipline. This is really a key for Vinny. Vinny helps clients transform both their bodies and identities. He's been featured in fitness publications and recently appeared in a magazine alongside his daughter, a powerful reminder that transformation is bigger than aesthetics. It's about legacy. Vinny Shirey, welcome to the New Beyond. I've been so looking forward to this.
Well, Judith, I want to say thank you for having me. I thank you for reading the bio. And yeah, our story goes back to working together through some training that we've done. We've been coaches together, and I'm
Yeah.
honored to be on this podcast. And I'm happy to serve your clients. That's what this is all about. So, any value that I get to provide them is awesome. So, ask any question you have, whatever will feed the audience. I'm more than willing to share all the inside tricks on how I get to have this big ball of energy that I have every single day. So it'd be great.
Well, let's just start with if you're listening to this as a podcast, audio only, you're missing the visual. So this will be on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you really do want to see the visual because Vinny has these giganticus biceps and shoulders that are just like exploding out of his tank top. It's really a sight to behold. It's quite lovely, actually. And he's turning beet red. I mean, literally,
All
you
good. All
just turned
good.
completely beet red.
I appreciate that, Benji. Thanks for saying
But
all that.
you're the guy who was up there in front, striking a pose. Yes.
Correct. That would be yeah. And I think
Yeah.
I'm going to do my first pro show in Charlotte, North Carolina in September. So if you're into that and you're from that area, come check me out in Charlotte. I'd love to meet you.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Well, maybe we can leave some information about that in the show notes. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so, you know, the first question that comes to mind is why? What drives and motivates someone slash you to go from 50 pounds ago to developing the kind of discipline, I mean, enormous amount of discipline that it takes to do what you do every day, day in and day out. What's
Mhm.
the inspiration? What's the motivation behind all of it?
Great question. And I'm going to rattle this off, and I'm super passionate about what I'm about to say. And it might sound odd to some of your listeners. I don't think it will. But I have a very, very keen outlook that someday I'm going to get old and I'm going to die. So I'm aware of this. And because of that, I choose not to live this mundane, unhealthy, out of shape, achy joints, pains, like can't play with my kids. I'm winded if I'm playing with them. I just choose that I'm going to live every single moment, every single day, like it could be the last one. And I know that might sound weird or maybe morbid, but it's not at all because oftentimes I think we live without a sense of urgency, meaning, I'm going to do this next week, or I'm going to do this next year, or I'm going to compete in 2026. We're not guaranteed 2026 or 2027 and beyond. So for me, it had a lot to do with knowing that life is really short and I want to get the most out of this experience of being alive on this planet now. And for me, that had a lot to do with health and fitness because I truly believe that health and fitness affects everything. It affects your relationships, it affects your finances, it affects your parenting, it affects your work ethic, it affects everything that we touch. Like if you don't have your health, I feel like you don't have you that can, take precedent over anything is if you start losing your health. Like that's a really big deal. So I refuse to lose it. I refuse to do my best to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And honestly, Judith, and this isn't an arrogance thing, but nothing to me feels better than looking in the mirror and actually really liking what I see, not only from a physical standpoint, like my outside body, but also from a mental, internal standpoint as well. Like I'm really happy with the man that I've become through this process, through the discipline. And I feel like I look good in the mirror, which is fine. That's a byproduct of this, but it's much more deeper than that. It's confidence. It's um, I don't know, just being the best parent that I can be to my kids, and it's all of that included.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, who could disagree with anything you just said? I mean, I'm 83, as you know. I mean, we know each other from for a few years, and I have to say that I have been in communication with what I call my 90-year-old for probably 40 years. So I would say for probably the last 30 years, 40 years, I have been keenly aware of what you just said. Obviously, not going to live forever, gonna grow old and die someday, and I want to get there in the best shape that I can. And so I didn't go the route that you went. I mean, so I'm curious. So like for me, it's enough to just be healthy, kind of normally healthy and normally fit. Uh, I'm curious what had you go as far as I mean, not everybody aspires to be a bodybuilder and take it to the level that you have. Something in there
Uh,
beyond just urgency and all of that. Had you take it to the level that you've taken it?
Well, number one, before I answer, I'm going to say that all of my clients, none of them actually compete. So I want to make that clear. Like when I coach somebody, no one is stepping on stage. They're wanting to be, as you put it, normally healthy, which is great. They've lost 30, 40 pounds. They're doing fantastic. They're not necessarily getting on stage, but I tell them you're getting on the stage of life every single day. When you wake up and your feet hit the floor, that's your stage. Your kids, your spouse, your coworkers, wherever you're going, the gas station, shopping, that's your stage. And we get to represent that well. So to answer your question on why did I take it so far, I think that has a lot to do with my upbringing. So since I can remember, Judith, I've been around weights. My dad had a weight room in his garage and he had weights. And some of my very first memories, believe it or not, is me lifting weights as like a 4-year-old or 5-year-old, like literally in the garage. And my dad, he'd be working out and flexing in the mirror, and he was into that. He's still in great shape. He's in his mid 60s, still looks fantastic for his age. We'd watch Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme and all these like muscle guys of the 80s. Like the action heroes back then were like kind of larger than life characters. Um, And that just it's just ingrained in me to like be in shape, and just I don't know, it's just part of what I do, and I'm always aspiring to do things greater than I am and stretch. We call it stretching, right? So a stretch for me, believe it or not, a long time ago, many years ago, I was very introverted and scared and shy. So I decided, you know what? What's an extreme stretch that I can do? Well, I'm going to jump on stage and in my underwear and pose and have music and dance. And I went above and beyond in my first competition way back when I was 26, when I competed in my first um, individual routine. I actually danced and turned around and danced and shook my rear end, which is not normal in bodybuilding, but it was a stretch. I said, I want to be memorable. So, everyone goes up and poses and it's all kind of the same. You remember maybe a couple of people. I guarantee you, the people at the show would remember my routine because it was different than everybody else's, and it's just part of it. So, just striving for greatness, like, whatever that is for you. If you are normally healthy, I had a friend who decided to walk 1 million steps in January and he did it. I have friends who run in like, those tough mudder things, and that's kind of what they're striving for. Or I have other clients who are simply just wanting to lose weight because they want to feel better in their skin, and they're leaders of major companies and they just want to look the part of being a CEO and feel good in their skin. So really it's driving people to find out their why. Like why, like you asked me, like what's the why? What's their why? And my why has to do with the stage. I love jumping on there. Like I'm striving for September 28th now, and I'll do something after that. But knowing that that date is coming up definitely ensures that I'm going to be competitive, that I'm going to do what it takes to win, or bring the best package I can. And I honestly, I just like it. I love it. I love the crowd. I love the cheering. I love the sportsmanship of people backstage. It's a unique, like, kind of cult group of people that I don't know
Yeah.
what the percentage is, but a small percent of people ever do this. So we really help each other out and we motivate each other. We cheer each other on. Very good sportsmanship. Nobody's complaining or whining if they got second place. Like we all worked our butts off and we're all happy to be there. And show day, we just cheer each other on and it's great. It's great. So I truly just love the experience of it. Honestly, it's exhilarating for me to do it and be on stage, especially as a introvert at heart.
Well, I was just going to ask you, what is it that you experience while you're doing this? I mean, there's the training and the preparation and the dieting and the working out and the all of that part of it, the discipline part of it. But when you're up there on stage and you're actually, I don't know, is performing the right word? Is
I think
that
so.
yeah, it's
Yep.
a performance. Yeah, so it's exhilarating.
And it's super exhilarating. It's
Is
surreal
there
when
a
you have
certain
the
kind
whole
of high that you feel?
100%. Like
Yeah.
one of the things that I've done, and this will be different now that I'm a professional because other guys have been there before. But sometimes when I did the amateur shows and I'm with first time competitors or younger guys, I really tell them to really stop and slow down and take in the moment, like take in the lights, take in the crowd, take in the cheers, because it's going to go so fast. Like you've literally worked for 12, 16 weeks for 5 minutes on stage. Like it goes so fast. So my biggest thing to these guys and girls when I see them is like really smile, like take it in. You've practiced so hard, like you've got the package you have, like just go enjoy yourself, like have a ball out there when you can do like a pose down, have fun with it. Don't be like, like tense and nervous. I mean, it's show day. Let's just have a ball together. And that's always my encouragement to my fellow competitors is just have a blast. And it is exhilarating. It's just, I'm telling you, the cheering and the crowd and people get into it, believe it or not. Like I know it's a weird sport, but the crowd's into it and they were cheering
Oh,
loud and it's
yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's a vibe, the whole vibe of it. One of the things I coach people on is to discover their genius and their soul calling.
Mhm.
And it's the thing that you can't not do.
Yep.
It's the thing that you're compelled to be and do and create. It's like you came in for that purpose, and that is like the thing that drives. And one might say that this is yours, or at least part of it. I think I know being a dad is a really big part of it for you. You share about the impact of becoming a dad and how that motivated and inspired you. Do you want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah, I take the role of a father very, very seriously, and I think I encourage men to do the same thing. Even if you feel like you're not doing the best job, I would commend you and probably say that you are doing better than you think. If the fact that you're even thinking that thought says a lot about you as a father. But like inspiring my kids, like I have two grown men now, they're 24 and 22, and they're successful. They're in good shape. They're one can probably compete with me in the future. He's healthy. They're in the military. They help the ones in banking and married already. It's really humbling to know that. I mean, and the message I got yesterday for Father's Day was just, hey, congrat you. Like the post that my son put is like to the best one out there, the best ever. Like as a dad, and to hear your grown men's sons say that about you, like that's just something that you don't just say. So being a dad's been a huge part of my fitness journey because I want to be healthy and I want to be an example like my dad was to me. And my grandpa
Yes.
was in great shape too. I mean, he was in shape until he was in his 80s when he passed away. Like, never had was sick or had any ailments. Like, always out in the garden. Just a legacy of health. And not he wasn't jumping on stage or anything like that, but he was still healthy. So it's legacy for the next generations coming up behind us to be healthy and do well as far as fitness goes because it again it affects everything. Like when you're healthy and you're feeling good about yourself and your own skin, like you just radiate, I think, really, you really do. And you can be magnetic to people. So and that's part of this
Yeah.
too. When I'm out and about and I'm at Starbucks or I'm at the gym, I get stopped. If it's not daily, it's every other day with questions and comments, and I take that in, and that never gets old to me. Like it's not like, oh, leave me alone, I'm busy. I give myself margin in my day to answer questions, give out my Instagram and TikTok, my phone number. I don't care. Like that's one thing I'm gonna do. If you want my phone number, you can have it. We can text. If you tell me let's call, let's jump on a call and talk about fitness, I'm gonna do it because people are like the greatest investment, right? Like connection really is currency. And I'm not even talking about finances. I'm talking about just legacy and being around people. Like I truly love that aspect. As a recovering introvert, it's just fun to be out and about and get approached and but represent like this sport because sometimes people can look like this and be super arrogant or rude or that sort of thing. And I'm trying to break that mold. And it's not everybody, but I want to be kind and answer questions and really help people because I know how good this feels. And I want that for other men and other women to just, I don't know, be completely fulfilled with life. So,
I've got so many questions for you. I don't even know where to go next. But the one that's kind of right there in front of me is, did you grow up as Vinny?
I grew up as Vince. Yeah, most
Yeah,
people.
because I met you as Vince. I've only known you as Vince, but now you're Skinny with Vinny. So tell us about Skinny with Vinny. What's that about?
So it was funny, when I was thinking about naming the company a few years back, I was soliciting advice from people who I thought were funny and creative. And one guy's like, Skinny with Vinny. And I'm like, that's it. I just heard it and I knew that that was it. And that just became Skinny with Vinny, was the name of the company based on how it just rolled off the tongue. And usually when people hear it, they're like, I like that. I like that. I like that. So I'm like, yeah, it works. So my branding is that. My t-shirts say that. I had a young lady designed my logo a few years back. She actually worked on Hell's Kitchen and works out in Hollywood and designed it. It's a really cool logo. She did a great job. But it just things just have fallen into place with that name, and it's Skinny with Vinny is what it is for now, I guess.
Well, were you ever skinny? Were you ever a skinny kid that people
Yeah, I
kicked?
was.
Do you remember
I
the
was.
old Charles Atlas? You're too young to remember the Charles Atlas cartoons in the comic books I used to read as a kid had Charles Atlas before when the big muscle guys used to kick sand in his face on the beach. Were you ever that
I
guy?
was I was a rail. Like as a kid, my mom has this picture. I should get it and send it to you, like a clip of it. But I'm literally skin and bone. Like I was so skinny as a kid, believe it or not. So I was overweight later in life just because of bad eating habits. But I think typically I've stayed skinny. And even this size, like I'm only, I won't say my weight, but I weigh a lot less than people think that I weigh. I'll put it that way. So even my frame is smaller than most. I think I'm a smaller guy. I just look bigger than I
Hmm.
am because of
Hmm.
muscle. But I've always been kind of skinny and slender my whole life. Like I wear small pants and things like that just because I'm smaller. So skinny fit.
Hmm. Skinny fit. So, so 50 pounds ago, you came to a point in your life when you were 50 pounds heavier than you are now.
Mhm.
And something had to shift in you
Yeah.
to start you, to turn you down this path.
Yep.
What was that? What was that? A couple questions here. What was that event or experience that triggered that shift for you?
Yep.
And yeah, and what were the accompanying mindset shifts that went along with that?
Well, the scale saying 200 pounds was mind blowing to me. Like that was just too heavy for me. I didn't want to weigh that much. So that was kind of an eye-opening thing for me. And walking down my steps, my stairs, I have a two-story home, and feeling it like in my ankles, in my knees, like feeling kind of achy. And I think I was 42 at the time, and up until then, I really hadn't felt pain in my body anywhere ever at all. And it was the weight, 200 pounds for my frame, I think is too much. Clearly, I mean, I'm 50 pounds lighter than that, 40 pounds lighter than that now. And it was that. There was the scale, it was the achiness in my knees and my ankles and joints. And it was looking at photographs. Honestly, Judith, like I looked, in the mirror, you kind of get used to seeing yourself all the time, right? But I'm looking at photographs and a friend of mine kindly sent it to me, and I'm like, I don't like how I look. I just didn't, and it wasn't like shaming or anything like that. I just knew as a man and as an individual, like for Vince, I knew that I'm capable of so much more than I was achieving up until that point. And I knew that getting in shape would affect everything in my life, as I said, like different job opportunities, different things that have happened since then, the business just doing really well. And if I'm going to coach clients with Skinny with Vinny, I refuse. And people have said, you don't have to be in great shape. I'm like, no. If I'm going to lead Skinny with Vinny, I have to look like this all the time because I would not hire me if I didn't look like this. Like to me, that's, I don't know. It's like you're lying. Like I can't eat, you know, hamburgers and French fries and have a big stomach and coach clients into getting in shape. Like just do what I say, not as I do. I'm a big practitioner in practicing what I preach in all areas of life. So if I'm telling my clients to walk 14,000 steps a day, you better believe I'm doing the same thing. If I'm telling them to carb cycle, guess what I'm doing? Carb cycling. If I'm telling them to take these supplements, I'm taking the supplements. If I'm saying shift your mind on this, like watch what you're thinking about, like your mindset is so key and vital. I'm doing that every day myself. And I want people to be around like-mindedness in the groups. And I'm very selective, believe it or not, Judith, on who I let into the group. People could apply, and I shouldn't say often, I sometimes turn people away because it's just not a good fit. And whether it's the energy that I feel a vibe from them, or they're unwilling to walk in the morning or track their food or go to the gym or whatever the story is, I won't just accept anyone because we have to vibe together because I'm almost guaranteeing success because I've never had a client not succeed yet, which not a lot of coaches can say that. Like I've had dozens of clients, all have succeeded. Not one has been like, I want a refund and this isn't working. Never happened because I don't just take anyone. So it's a big part of what I do is we get to work together, and I'm working with you on a, on a day the client on a daily basis, and I want to like the person if that makes sense.
Uh-huh,
So
of course, of course. So
that's it.
succeed, when you say, not one, every single one of them have succeeded. What's the definition of success? They achieve their goals that they set for themselves?
Right. They achieve their goals, and my goal when they leave me is to ensure that this is sustainable. Sustainability is huge for me because a lot of times people can lose weight, they can lose 25, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, and 6 months later they're right back to where they started. I do not want that for my clients. I give every tool that I can give. I encourage them to continue on, and most have continued on and do what they need to do. Um, to maintain their health and their fitness because it's a mindset shift that's been happening over the course of 3 months or 6 months or longer, depending on how long they stay with me as their coach. But success means health. It means your goals are achieved. So if your goal is 30 pounds, then we're going to achieve your 30-pound weight loss in a healthy way. Sometimes that takes longer than 3 months because we do it very healthily. There's not some bin or some strict water only, you're going to lose 10 pounds or what do they call
Hmm.
it? Like a water only to kind of cleanse your body. I don't believe in that sort of thing. I just believe it's a slow process, and when it's slow, it's sustainable and it sticks. And the way I teach my clients too, the way we diet, it's not chicken and broccoli and chicken and broccoli and chicken and broccoli. It's foods that you love. Like I'm not even super, I'll give you macronutrients, but then you get to decide, like, I really want salmon, or I like shrimp, or I like steak, or I like chicken, and we make it work for you so that it's sustainable for you because the best diet for anyone is one that you'll stick to. And you get to
Right.
figure that out, and I get to help you figure that out together. And I eat protein Pop Tarts and protein chips, and I do kind of a little different than some fitness people do, but I like that stuff. I'm a recovering chipaholic and chocoholic, so I get to have protein bars when I want to because it helps me stay lean and keep my six pack eating Pop-Tarts, which is insane to me that I can do that. I'm in the car oftentimes thinking, this isn't fair. I feel like I'm cheating. I have a six pack and I'm eating a Pop-Tart. This is wild to me. So it's just fantastic.
I can't see myself getting away with eating Pop-Tarts, though.
Protein Pop-Tarts, Judith. Protein Pop-Tarts.
Oh, there's a difference. Okay. Okay.
I'm not
Um,
talking the Kellogg's Pop Tarts. Those I wouldn't eat personally. I think they're too high.
okay.
These
Okay.
Pop
All
Tarts
right.
are lower in sugar.
Oh, I need to I need a private consultation with you about this. Yeah. Um, how did you arrive at 14,000 steps? Now, to me, 14,000 steps is extreme. It's like way, way more than what, I mean, if my goal is like 8,000 steps a day. And I've read that you don't really even need 10,000 steps, that 8,000 steps is enough. Maybe it's for maintenance. Maybe, you get to your weight loss goal, and I am at my weight loss goal, and I've maintained it for like 6 months. And I just do my 8,000 steps a day in and day out. It's like for me, it's a non-negotiable. And you
Yep,
have what you call non-negotiables.
correct. I
And
have
one of those is 14,000 steps.
correct. My clients do the same thing. So why 14,000? I just felt like it was a download that I felt like I got to do. So like we mentioned, I could have did 10, like 10 kind of was in my head a little bit, but we're going to stretch. We're going to go above and beyond because that's what we get to do is go above and beyond what when we do things. And that's just the kind of person that I get to be is doing more than that's expected. So 14,000 for me is slightly a stretch sometimes. Usually I get that pretty easily, but sometimes it's 9:50 at night. I'm like, shoot, only got 12,000 steps. I got to get on the pad and get my 2,000 steps in. And that's what I do. So I can't, there's studies, like you said, that 8,000 is okay, 10,000 is okay, 14,000 is definitely going to keep you lean. And that's what the clients that I have do. And I think that really aids in their weight loss because I don't recommend running or other forms of cardio. Like my clients simply walk. And oftentimes they're like, let me get this straight. I'm going to join and all I have to do is walk. That's my cardio. I'm like, yes, you're just going to walk. That's it. But it's 14,000 steps, which is about 7 miles. Okay, but it's just walking. I'm like, it's just walking. So they like that in essence, that it is a lot. And each morning a non-negotiable is immediately when my feet hit the floor, I'm right to my walking pad and I walk for 30 minutes. Like, so immediately I'm going in the fat burning mode. I'm walking, I'm getting myself moving. And I also consume 30 grams of protein right out of the get-go as well. So if I have to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, well, guess what? Then I got to get up earlier, get the walk in, get the shower in, and just make it work. And it's a non-negotiable, like you said.
And it's interesting. There's something freeing, and I'd love for you to speak about this. There's something freeing about making a commitment to something. Let's say 14,000 steps in your 30 minutes and your routine. Freeing about committing to it,
Mhm.
closing the back doors, no
Yep.
excuses,
Yep.
no possibility that it's not going to happen, and now you just go. So the mind is freed of all of the, but I don't want to, but I don't feel like it, but maybe late, talk about the freedom that we find inside of a commitment like that, a non-negotiable.
Yep. Well, I'll say this. Your mind's always listening to you, right? We're always listening to our words that we speak. So if I say that I'm going to do 14,000 steps and that's a non-negotiable, and then I don't do it, guess who I just let down?
Yeah. Self.
I heard myself tell me that I'm gonna do
Mhm.
this and then I don't, then I start lacking trust in me. And there's
Mhm.
no way that I can walk around confidently and meet people and interact if I'm second guessing who Vince is. Like this experience, Judith, truly in being disciplined has unlocked just me being authentically me 100% of the time for a lot of years, unfortunately. And I'm going to tell on myself. I felt like I was playing a character for the longest time, and our training really has helped that, come a long way as well, but I was just not true to myself and who I was. And I think some of that had to do with like commitments that I would make and then not follow through. Like whether it was fitness commitments or financial commitments or whatever, like, hey, I'm gonna come hang out at noon and then I'm late or I don't do it. That lack of commitment and follow through was like holding myself back. And
Yeah.
that would say that to your viewers, like if you commit and you say you're going to do something, even if it's like to meet someone for lunch or take your kid to a game or dinner or date, like stick to your commitments because then you could start to trust yourself and really kind of own confidence. I think it really is a confidence booster because we're always listening to what we're saying and thinking all the time. And thoughts matter. I say this constantly to my clients, like, what are you thinking about today? Like, what's on your mind? What's happening up here? Like, are you second guessing the diet? Are you mad at yourself? Did you miss something? Are you eating cake at night that you shouldn't be? Like, why? Why did that happen? Like, why are you not totally committed to your goal, which is yourself and your health and your fitness? Like, let's figure this out together and get you on the right track. So, commitment is huge, and I think it has to do with commitment to yourself. And when you can commit to yourself, you'll show up as the best person that you can be, and that's a
Yeah.
big deal.
When you become count onable to yourself, like you can count on yourself, I know when I say XYZ is going to happen, I know that XYZ, I'm going to have XYZ happen
Yep,
because it's
100%.
just how I roll. Yeah. Well, I think you might have answered the next question I was going to ask you, which is how do you keep your clients motivated? I mean, not everybody has the kind of motivation that you have. Uh, how do you keep, how do you be with people, with clients and people when there's a dip in their energy, when they've lost confidence, maybe they've gained a little weight or something. How do you
So,
keep people motivated?
Good. So initially, clients might gain weight when they first start with me because we're going to figure out like what macros are going to work for them properly and healthy. Why? So at first, I've had a couple clients actually gain a couple of pounds, and I have to,
Mhm.
set them straight and say, listen, it's okay. I gained a couple pounds when I started, and you see the results. So just trust me. This is a process. The process works. You just have to believe in me as your coach that we're going to do this together, but you get to just trust the process is one of the things that I say. And I say this a lot online now that motivation can only take you so far anyway. Motivation is fickle. Motivation's like the weather. Some days I'm super motivated. I'm not always motivated, believe it or not, Judith, to go to the gym. Like I like going, but there are days when I'm like, I have a lot to do. I got to edit this video or meet with this client or whatever the case is. And it'd be nice just to skip, but I will never skip because discipline is what I teach people. You get to be disciplined and discipline, that non-negotiable that you mentioned, your discipline, your non-negotiables are going to trump the motivation because motivation won't always be there. So you get to rely on the discipline. And there's so much freedom, as you've already mentioned, inside of discipline and just knowing like this is going to happen today. This gets to happen no matter what. And when you can rely on that discipline, motivation is like I don't take pre-workout energy drinks. I don't need rock music in my headphones to have a great lift at the gym. Like all of that is just nonsensical to me. And it's just part of my routine and who I am. And then the goal to success to me is your identity shifts. So it shifts from, oh, I got to go to the gym. I got to get this done to I get to go to the gym today. I'm going to work out. I'm going to feel great because none of my clients will say like, oh, I didn't want to go. And then after they go, they always are glad they went and they feel better after it's over. Like that's one of the things about gym. To me, the gym is like dopamine. Like it's an immediate like, ah, I worked out hard, I did a great job, and it's like it's a reward to your body for doing it. It really, they've done studies that exercise actually helps with depression and everything. Like it's a big deal to move and be active. So discipline trumps motivation every time. So motivation is there. Like we have a group and I do message people and I do send videos about different things to motivate, right? Just because I look at that stuff too. But at the end of the day, it's more about the discipline and motivation.
Oh, I like that. Discipline trumps motivation.
Yep.
Yeah, like rigor,
Yep.
rigor, discipline, kind of both the same thing. However, what if you're a person like me? I hate gyms. I don't want to
Mhm.
be in a gym. I
Sure.
used to belong to a gym. And then when the pandemic hit,
Mhm.
we all stopped going to the gyms. So I started walking.
Yep.
And I want to be outdoors. I want to be in the fresh air. I want to be looking at nature and all of that. I do not want to be in a gym. What are you going to do with somebody like that?
So I have had a couple clients who don't want to go to the gym, and we discuss why that is. Number one, because I want to understand what your thought process is behind not wanting to go. Some clients have different systems. One's called a tonal. It's new to me where they can work out with this machine at home instead of going to the gym. So basically, we just construct a workout that works for your equipment. So I have another
Okay.
female who she works at her home. She's got 6 kids, Judith. 6 kids. She works for a high performing CEO. Like I don't know how she does it all, but she does and does it with such grace. But she works out from home, so we constructed a workout plan that worked with her equipment. Now you can't not work out. That obviously you're going to with this program. But if it's one of those cases where the gym just is not feasible because of your schedule, or it's too far, or you got the kids at home, whatever the case is, and we come up with a plan that works with your equipment at home, and you get to do that at home and keep me posted on progress and progressive overload and things that we teach inside of my training.
So do I just have to get over myself because I don't have any of those excuses? I don't have kids at home. I don't have to leave to go to a job. I don't have any of those reasons. I just don't like being in a gym that's smelly and sweaty and all of that, gym stuff. I just don't like it.
So the gym I go to is called Planet Fitness, and you probably have them out your neck of the
I've got
woods.
one a block from my house.
They
I
don't
can
stink,
walk to it.
very clean, very, it doesn't smell like a gym in a Planet Fitness. And I travel around the country, and that's where I go when I travel, and it's fine in there. Like they do a great job with the upkeep of the maintenance of the facility. And there's all different demographics in Planet Fitness. So even if you are new to the gym, because I had a client who was new who didn't really want to go to the Y. It just wasn't like you. She just didn't want to. And I said, well, what's your reasons? She didn't have any good ones. I said, well, then we get this stretch. Let's try this at least for 90 days and just see how it goes. Guess what? She loves going to the gym now. She's owned it. She's learning how to lift the weights properly. I'm helping her through that process. She's going to start interacting with people at some point because, again, like-minded people usually kind of flock together a little bit. And maybe you meet someone in there who just by chance they're in there at the same time and you make a friend. Like yeah, that, there's nothing wrong with that as well. But if someone's just adamant about not going to the gym, then they would need to have equipment at home and or figure something out else like that out. But maybe you do just get to stretch, Judith, and try Planet Fitness and see if you like it. And heck, maybe you can get on the hydro massage bed or the massage chair, and you'll love that as well.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm not committing though. I'm absolutely not committing. You talk about something called mortar days. What is that? What's a mortar day?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So mortar days are the days where, man, you didn't get a good night's sleep, work was long, the kids need you, but you're going to get the workout in because you've committed to yourself to go work out and go to the gym each and every day, right? So a mortar day for me would be, like I said, lack of sleep or something's popped up on my schedule, but I'm going to go in and get the workout in. So maybe that day and only that day, and this doesn't happen often, you do a little bit less weight. You kind of start going through the motions, if you will, going through the motions, but by the end of it, you're glad you're there, your weight gets up to normal, and you just get the workout in. And I call them mortar days because when you're making a wall, right, like with bricks, if you just put bricks upon bricks without any mortar, it will fall over. But if you have the
Mm-hmm.
mortar, like the mortar is the glue almost that keeps
Mm-hmm.
everything together as you build it. So you get to have mortar days as well, and that's active rest day is a mortar day for me. Or again, if you just have that day where it's just not feeling it that day, like we have those days occasionally from time to time, but you didn't skip, that's fantastic. That's really truly a win in my book because you win anyway. And maybe it wasn't the best workout, but you were there, so it's a win in my opinion. So that's a mortar day.
Okay, that's cool. I'm thinking, this is not easy. This is not an easy path you're on. I mean, for somebody to commit to 14,000 steps a day and all of the things, going to the gym and working out and lifting weight, that is not an easy path to take. And you say fat loss isn't complicated, it's just not easy. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I don't think it's complicated at all. I think when you get on the right plan and you decide to commit to yourself, then you just figure out what to do. And you say that it's, I wouldn't say that it's not, so how do I want to put this? Um, I think when you're striving for, or not striving, but when you're stretching for the best version of you, it doesn't seem hard anymore because you're wanting to become the best version of yourself and you've committed to yourself and you're going to choose your heart at some point. And what do I mean by that? Like it's either going to be hard now, if you want to call it that, where you're walking your 14,000 steps and you're going to the gym and you're eating the proper foods, and it's going to be hard now, or conversely, folks who are your age who have waited and not done any of those things at 83, guess what? It's going to be extra hard when the doctor's telling you you need to lose weight. You got to take this medication, which I'm never going to take medications if I can avoid it. You have to, you basically have no choice but to be active and but to like try to lose weight, or you got to go on kidney dialysis, or you got to go on things that where your body's starting to fail. So your heart is going to get hard one way or another. So in my
In fact,
opinion,
your heart is going to get harder.
I
Mhm.
would choose it now, like as early as you can. If you're watching
Mm.
this in your 40s or 30s or 20s, like if you can start in your 20s, stay there because then it's easy as you get older because you don't have that kind of restart. Like I restarted at 42. And it was hard at first, honestly, Judith. I mean, at first, you don't see like amazing results right away. Like there are results. I lost weight, but I didn't have a six pack and look like this in 2 months. This took me half a year or longer to get to this point, and I'm still refining it even now. Um, but now that I'm here, it's easy. Like it seems you call it hard, but to me, like it's an identity thing and it's not difficult at all anymore. Like there's moments when I'm might be a little hungrier than some people, but I just use my Ninja Creamy that I told you about and I make a protein ice cream and I'm like this again, how is this legal? I'm basically eating a Wendy's Frosty made out of a Fairlife chocolate shake and it literally tastes like a Wendy's Frosty. So I'm getting 26 grams of protein, like 150 calories, and I feel like I'm eating a Frosty.
And you said no sugar.
No sugar. Whatever's in the Fairlife shake, which might be a couple of grams, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't add sugar. I don't add anything to it. It's literally Fairlife. I might use some sugar-free like pudding mix, like butter, whatever flavor, chocolate or whatever, and maybe some PB2 if I want a peanut butter taste. I freeze it overnight. You got to freeze it for 12 hours. Take it out of the freezer, put it in the Ninja, do it, let it do its thing, and I'll even sometimes add sugar-free chocolate chips if I'm going to get crazy.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I'm telling you, Judith, it's next level, but that's to me, that makes it easy. The fact that
Have
I
you
can
got a
eat,
cookbook? Have you put together a cookbook?
I need to. People have told me that because I have all these hacks now with, keto friendly buns and the way I cook my chicken and I smoke chicken and my potatoes like that are better than Five Guys fries. I need to do that. That's a good
You
idea.
definitely need to do that. That would be a good lead gen for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so let's say that I'm somebody who has not been disciplined,
Mhm.
who has procrastinated, and
Yeah.
in the process, let's say I'm carrying 50 extra pounds. I'm
Mhm.
completely out of shape. Um, how do I get inspired or motivated to even start when it all looks overwhelming? It just looks like it's too much. I can't do it. How do you bring somebody even up to the start line, the
Sure.
starting gate?
Well, it has to become a decision from them. Like they have to really want to make the commitment for themselves. If they're not totally committed into, excuse me, achieving their goals, then it's not going to work anyway. And that's true of anything in life, right? If you're not committed, then what are we doing?
Okay. All right. Let's say I've gotten some bad news from the doctor. So I know that I better do something. Okay. So I've got that pressing in the background.
Yep. So in that case, and we're going to initially, what I would recommend is tracking your diet. Let's figure out what your current macros are, how many calories you're eating, how much carbs, how much protein, how much fat, what types of foods. And then we're going to adjust from there. So let's say you're eating 3,000 calories a day and you're overweight. Then we get to start slowly putting you in a caloric deficit because the only true way to lose weight properly and effectively is to be in a calorie deficit. So if you're eating 3,000, we know we need to lose so many, so much. Our goal is maybe a pound a week. And maybe we subtract 500 a day initially, or for the week, and we go from there and we start adjusting accordingly based on your goals. Now, if you're not motivated to go to the gym and run, that's something that we would just have to work on mindset stuff together as a team and figure out why you're lacking that type of motivation for your own health and your own mental health and your own fitness and all that sort of thing. So those are things that we'd have to talk about. But initially, I mean, just walking is what I'm going to subscribe. And that's really anyone can do that. Like,
Yeah.
even if you're out of shape and you struggle to walk to the mailbox, then let's start with walking to the mailbox a couple of times and then
Ah,
let's pick up from there. Like, it starts small. Like, I truly believe we start slow, like I did, and we make the adjustments. We figure out what you can do, we figure out what works for you, and then we start adjusting and we do it together and we build it and we celebrate small wins. That's another big key component to this that I've done from the beginning is like even a pound weight loss, if that's something that's a big deal to somebody, we're gonna celebrate the small win. Like you lost a pound. Like that's great. Well, I still look no. Adjust, celebrate the win. Let's be in gratitude continually. And that's one of the things we work about a lot in my group is a constant state of gratitude. Like I don't subscribe to negativity. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to hear it. I mean, obviously things happen and we have to have discussions, but let's really be in a state of constant gratitude because life's short. We only live once, and there's so much to be thankful for, I'm sure, in your life that we could think about and work on that together. So that helps too.
wow. Having somebody like you, or specifically you, as a member of my health team, if that's what I'm looking to do, you're the guy. And I'm sure you've got supplements and all kinds of, you said hacks to share
Yep.
with people. We'll leave some links for people to reach out to you and connect with you. What other thing? It just dawned on me when we first met, and I don't know if this is still you still doing your other day job?
Yes, so I work for the state of Ohio. I'm the marketing and outreach administrator for the Ohio School Safety Center. In fact, I'll plug this and say this. We just had our annual safety summit last week. It was an in-person summit. We were able to double attendance. We had standing room only. We had amazing breakouts. We had a positive, just tremendous feedback from that. Again, why? Because I expected it to be great. It was a mindset shift, even for like when I'm talking to my team, like, no, this is going to be great. The energy is going to be like high next level. Our marketing hour, our meet and greet after day one's going to be like the best it's ever been. And it was because I set the expectation of this is going to be the best event we've ever done so far. And that comes from leadership. It comes from just knowing how to lead a team and make it work. So that's the day job now.
Amazing, amazing. Clearly, you are in your soul's calling. I just feel that vibe so strongly from you. And there's a beautiful, graceful quality of life that is afforded one when we're aligned with our soul's calling.
You're hitting it on the head, Judith. I tell people often lately, and I've been saying this for a while, like, please don't pinch me because I don't want to wake up from this dream currently. Like, I don't have problems sleeping, but as of late, I've been staying up later because I'm just so excited for the next day. I'm excited for my clients. They send me their wins, and I'm like, you just made my day by telling me whatever they tell me. And it's true. Like it's not me puffing them up. I'm like, you made my day. Like my client succeeded, another client succeeded, or something good happened at work, or their kids are excelling. And I'm going to visit my son in Los Angeles in a couple of weeks, and I get to see him. Judith, life is just too short not to enjoy every moment. And that's if your audience takes away one thing from me, please like live life to the fullest, enjoy your loved ones, hug them, tell them how you feel. Don't be bashful. For so long, I was untrusting, I wasn't very vulnerable, and I lack courage. And I have all those things in my life now. When I operate in trust, when I operate in vulnerability, sincere vulnerability, and I have courage to say things that other people won't say, good or bad, I'm the best version of me. And that's really, I think it's transcending into everyone around me and everywhere I go, like, because I'll just genuinely compliment people. If it's there, I'm going to say it, and if it's not, I won't. Like, I'm not going to be fake. It's 100% authenticity all the time. And largely, a lot of that has to do with a lot of the work we did when we worked together a couple years back in our leadership training. So thank you for
Yeah.
being a part of that as well. I can thank you for that. And, the mindset stuff is a big deal. So life's too.
Oh, wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you so much for spending this time with us here in the new beyond, Vinny. It's really been, my heart is just on fire and bursting with the energy that you just exude. So I'm sure your clients get that from you as well. So thank you for being who you are in the world and giving your gift, sharing your gift with humanity. I know it makes a difference. So
Pleasure. Honestly, it's very much my pleasure. I really enjoy to that I'm breathing right now and I get to live. It's life can be that good, and I want that for people.
yeah, cool. Well, thank you, listeners, for spending time with us here in the new beyond. Until next time, everyone, many blessings.